ahead of the Bayelsa and Kogi race. We have joining us for more on this Professor Adele Jinodu, a consultant at the Center for Democracy and Development. I'd like to welcome you to the program.
Good afternoon.
All right, please tell us, what do you make of the elections? A lot of people are saying this fevered pitch, looking at the different states. Some monitoring groups have even suggested that pre-observation shows, or rather indicates, early signals of violence. What's your observation?
Well, I think we have to put the elections in context, and that context is where we are coming from, particularly since the elections earlier on in the year, presidential and state elections. And I think the political atmosphere is still very, very toxic. And it is one which raises a lot of serious concerns. I think we have tended to look more at what the electoral body, INEC, is doing in preparing for the elections. And those of us who are been intimately involved to some extent know that INEC has made great progress since 1999 in terms of improvements, in the electoral process. What has not improved, and what still is a matter of major concern, is the attitude of the political parties and the attitude of the electorate, who see in politics, and essentially politics during election time, as a way of making money. And I think that is part of the environment that I see is really toxic, and that is what we really need to place our emphasis on.
On the part of the voters, can you blame them?
Well, yes, we can blame them. Why shouldn't we blame them? They are part of the problem. And no matter how much of voter education you do, there is a kind of incestuous relationship between the political parties and party supporters at the grassroots, who use all kinds of machinations to distort and disrupt the electoral process. And I think it is about time that Nigerian voters confront those middlemen who cause trouble on the ground. It is not just my saying that I'm not going to accept money. What am I going to do to prevent somebody else from offering money and taking money? And I think most of us just sit back and look and say there's nothing we can do. And at the end of the day, we pass the blame onto the electoral management body.
But it's almost like you're putting the electorate in a very difficult position. Sadly, some of the other observer groups mentioned that buying and selling of permanent voter cards still exists and is ongoing. Also, we have Yaga Africa, who says that there are several campaigns going on, more in Bayelsa rather than even in Kogi State. And, one wonders why those dynamics, and also that some of the campaigns are based on inducements and not issues. What do you think?
Yeah, that is part of what I mean by the toxic environment, which is beyond the control of the electoral body. And that toxic environment is created by the political class, the political parties, their agents, who now manipulate things on the ground to favor their preferred candidates. And I think there has to be, look, you and I, we know that the state has failed to provide security in our environment. Now, we set up Neighborhood Watch to prevent people from stealing our property. We don't wait for the state to come and do it for us. We know the state has failed. So we do that. So by analogy, why can't we as citizens say, look, we are going to prevent these characters from stealing our votes? My vote belongs to me, and it is very, very important. We don't need to wait for the policeman. We ourselves can become our own policemen, monitoring the process to show that that toxic element is removed.
All right. We'd like to appreciate your time. We definitely know you'll be joining us much later, leading up to the days. Thank you so much, Professor Adele Jinodu, a consultant of the Center for Democracy and Development.
Thank you.
That's how we wrap things up on Lunchtime Politics. Thank you for watching. Join the conversation on our social media platforms. I'm Millicent Walker. I'll see you soon.